So I read chapter 21, and basically, the story follows a reporter who, when she was looking at a story uh, about a city wanting to merge their schools with the city, which I'll be honest, I'm not entirely certain like what that means, like how like I don't know like what it means by the schools not already being merged with the city. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but the real important thing that there is to talk about is the fact that one of the public officials, he had talked about the whole situation in his blog, and this reporter, she was pondering whether or not she should bring up his blog in her reporting of the story. And it was kind of this moral quandary because A, she had to verify whether it was actually him, and it was also a question of whether or not they should use the blog because, well, did he write the blog as like for that purpose? Did he write the blog as like a press release? And this was back in 2008, where uh, these um, these like just moral questions were new, and online journalism was a new thing. And yeah, so basically, the journalist, she verified that it was him. She had found the his initial post stating that this was meant to be a way for him to speak to the public, his blog that is. Um, and when they actually contacted him, he sort of gave them a more, I guess, clean version of the blog post, because the blog post was like overly critical of the merger. Um, and so yeah, and so the reporter, she basically she wrote the story with his more cleaned up version, but also did use the blog post. And so, as far as whether or not she should have done it, I mean, to be honest, I feel like this story is really outdated. Just because I feel like in today's world, like, obviously, yes, you should be allowed to use anybody's blog post, let alone a public official's blog post. If that is them, if that blog post is relevant to a story that you're writing, or even if what they're saying is so important that it's a story in and of itself. I mean, you know, obviously you should still verify that it is them, although in today's day and age, like most social media platforms have the forms of verification, right? They're like Twitter has their blue check mark. So I feel like that's not really much of an issue these days. Um, and I mean, yeah, I feel like at this point right now in 2020, anybody who's writing something online, they should know that what they're saying is going to be potentially viewed by everybody. So yeah, I feel like in today's day and age, there's really no question as to whether or not you should use um, blogs or social media posts in your reporting. It is morally okay to do so. In fact, it is a valuable tool that should be used when looking at what people think about certain topics.